see if the stream pops up.
Pranking all the Spider-Man skins with artistic ADHD.
Alright, it should come up. It should come up. There you go. Maybe let's make sure everything's alrighty-dighty. But you said
righty-dighty.
Yeah, the screen sharing still, wow.
Yeah. I do, don't I?
That's so funny.
So you probably see it echo.
I was like, wow. Is the audio good? Do I need to adjust anything? I think I've got it, but I don't know.
There we go. Alright.
I
think everything sounds A-okay on my end.
Okay. Then I think we can start. Hello, everyone. Welcome to, this. Anyway, today, as said per title, me and Gus are going to be talking about Dragon Ball, because that was the last minute decision we decided to make as this little podcast episode. Also because we were talking about it recently anyway, so it felt fitting to do a little episode on it, so, yeah. As you can see, we have little 4-star and the little scouter on the table. I don't know, that was just something I decided. Well, I decided with Dragon Ball, Gus wanted the scouter.
I like the Scouters.
Scouter's cool.
I think they're a defined piece of technology.
Piece of technology. Oh God, oh Lord. Oh Lord.
Yeah, I just moved it.
He's having problems, it's fine. It's fine. Oh God. But, so, yeah, we're gonna do a couple different things today. Obviously, all Dragon Ball related. Yeah, so that's a kind of, I don't know. We'll have, like, things, but also we'll just, like, talk about it in general kind of thing. Just whatever, comes to our mind and all that. So, we agreed to start with the fic first, right? And then move on from there.
Fuck.
Okay, let's go. You want to?
Oh shit.
Let's go. You want to do the list first?
Okay. Yeah.
Start off.
Yeah. No. Let's start off with the meat and potatoes, and then we'll get the dessert.
Okay,
Holy shit.
Okay. So, just on a whim, we decided that we made a tier list of our favorite characters. That way. So, do you want me to show your first, or you want to have them show mine? I don't know. Because I made two separate.
You go ahead. It's I don't know. I was gonna say your pick on that one. I'm just.
I'll go first, I guess, because it's the first tab and that's easiest to work with that. So yeah, so we had we just made like quick little tier list type of thing. I'm sure you guys are gonna get sick of it soon. Tier lists anyway. Because I did one last week, so.
Oh shit! You did.
Yeah, but I mean, it's fine. It's gonna be okay. So, rules for this is that there weren't really rules. We just picked whoever we liked. Pretty much that way. So, going on to mine. I'll show it first. Here we go. So, I already did it. I already completed it. I was gonna do the game of, I'm gonna put this one here, but do I want that one there? No, I wanted this to be painless, because I know y'all had to sit through me and Jacob having to debate which Spider-Man skin we wanted on what. So, for us, I put Bardock and Adult Gohan from like the main series. I don't know. I just picked the Ultimate Gohan. That was just the image that I picked. Then we got Broly from Super, specifically from Super, because that one I really like the I like the character in that one. They don't make him just like completely mindless, but also he's a sympathetic character. I like it. I don't know. Goku specifically for this one, just because I was like, I feel like Goku is just such an obvious pick. I decided to just like classic like Dragon Ball Goku. So I think that's from like Dragon Ball. I can't tell. It looks like it's classic, or if nothing else, it's just the beginning of Z. So it still counts.
I think that's from the beginning of Dragon.
It still counts. No, because it's like that's
like rabbits appearing on Earth.
Yeah, so it still counts. And then Tien Shannon, because he's pretty cool. I like Tien. He's just. I think he's just looking at the Marge thing. I think he's just neat. Yeah, B, which is Vegeta. I just put that image of Vegeta down. I don't know. I prefer more of like the more
Honestly,
recent
though, like
version. So
Namek version of Vegeta is my favorite. I'm not gonna lie,
yeah,
because like he's
it's pretty
just like
cool.
he's evil as fuck, but like you still see like that part of like not Boo Saga per se, but Android Saga Vegeta.
Yeah,
You see that
that's
little bit of him shining through, like where you're roughing out the edges of him,
that's
where
very
he's
true.
not like where he's not so like bad. He's like a bad guy. He'll kill Gohan if he wanted to, but he didn't. And then then he has that talk with Goku, telling him like we're a proud warrior race, Kakarot, and he just destroyed us all. And it's just he's so fucking proud and arrogant of his like race and shit, and that's why I like that.
Yeah, that's pretty true. Yeah, I just like the later version of him. I don't know. I think it's like I don't know, interesting. I don't know. I kind of like the character development he kind of got by like pretty much around like kind of super kind of era because it's like he still got the arrogance, but it's more of the like I've changed a bit kind of thing. Like he's not exactly I wouldn't say necessarily a good guy because it's like I still think he's got like the evil tendency, but at least he's like more chilled out. I don't know.
Can I tell you my favorite design of Vegeta?
Hmm.
My favorite design has to be Mustache GT Vegeta.
That I do like that. That's a fun design. I do like that one a lot. I like GT Vegeta
It's
design.
it's fun. He has the dad stash. He cut his hair, and I get like I get like they don't really want them to change their look completely, but it's like such a fresh design on it.
I like that like they made him like more like Earth like look kind of thing. I think it's
Yes.
cool. Like he just got accustomed to Earth, and I think that's really nice. Then I got Piccolo or Piccolo Junior, whatever you wanna, if you want to be more specific. That way, I like this Piccolo in general, but I think it's like later. I think like after like the Raditz arc and all that. Like I think it's just like I think there's like pretty much when he was like training Gohan and all that. I think it's gonna like I think I like that kind of Piccolo kind of thing. There's just I don't know him being like such a father figure to go on. It's like such an interesting like thing that like if you're getting into Dragon Ball you wouldn't expect. If you like watch like Dragon Ball and then going to Z, it's like, oh, this guy's a horrible monster. He doesn't care. He wants to destroy the world and all that. And then all of a sudden he's just like pretty much is like this like mentor figure to go on. It's very interesting. I think that's fun. So I don't know. Then I got Android 16 because I don't know. I like his like his vibe. Like I love that like he wants peace for the most part. Obviously he wants to kill Goku, but that's his mission and all that. But like he's just peaceful. He's just a chill guy. Um. Then see, I put Future Trunks. I like Trunks, Future Trunks. But it's like I will admit I do find him like a little bit annoying at times. Just a little bit, only because it's like the whole I don't I think it's his voice sometimes that just gets to me. I cannot tell you.
Father.
Which is funny because if I'm correct, the person at least who does Trunks I think does Silver. I think in recent years he's done Silver, so that's really interesting from like Sonic, I should say. So, which is the same character. I see you, Sonic. I see you, Sonic Team. I know what you're doing. The fact that like you have Silver who's like from the future and you put the voice actor of Trunks on him, it's like I see you. I know what you're doing. You're not sneaky. You know how much of Sonic is like Dragon Ball? There's a lot. That's his own stream. Anyway, and then D I put Oob. He's cool. I like Oob. I mean, I wish
Which
he was
I
more.
don't fucking get it. I don't get it.
I like him. He's an interesting. There's potential in his character, and I think that's why I like him. He could be a cool character, and he's like interesting enough. Come on, he's like the reincarnation of Boo. So like, or at least Evu Oob, evil
Good
Boo.
version of Boo.
I mean, well, I guess we do have a good version of Boo though, technically, but still, point is, I don't
No,
know.
that one's still evil.
Yeah, I suppose. Just Hercule just chills him out.
Hercules is Zan.
My God. Anyway, so that's my list. So we'll now go on to Gus's. Hopefully I put it in the correct order. If I didn't, and I messed it up because I was rearranging.
I'm gonna scream.
I'm
I'm gonna
sorry.
scream and
I'm
shout
sorry.
and let it all out.
He's saying, oh, yo,
There
yo,
we
yo.
go.
I hope I did right. If I didn't,
Okay.
that's me.
Yeah, no,
Talking.
it looks right. Looks right
Okay.
so far. My S tier, I have GT Pan because I feel like Oob, she has potential. Like see a female Saiyan, and she goes Super Saiyan and shit. I also really like GT more than a lot of other people. It's
GG's
also
fine.
my initials, so
That's
that's why I
fair.
like GT.
Your name is Grand
Then
Tour.
there's
Wow.
Nail.
Sorry.
Yeah, my name is Grand Tour. Welcome to the Grand Tour. Dragon Ball
Oh,
Gust here.
GT.
Anyway, so then the second one in the S tier rank is Nail because he was such like a freaking beast in like the Namek saga. Held off Frieza for way too long. Shouldn't have, but he did instead of running away and helped make Piccolo stronger by teaching him a forbidden move that made Piccolo become like ranks up with the Saiyans. So
Sure.
then we got in the A, we have Android 16. I like Android 16 because I feel like there is more depth into him than what people like will see. Like I heard somewhere, I think that he was like Dr. Giro's, or he was designed after Dr. who got destroyed in like a Red Ribbon Army like accident or something like that from Goku when he was a kid. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm guessing. I don't remember
Oh,
precisely what I heard, where I heard it.
I mean, yeah, him being it's like based off of Dr. Jor's son. Yeah.
He was a yeah, and so then then my next one is Future Gohan, and that's mainly because Future Gohan is freaking the goat. He's super strong, and imagine if he had like the others teaching him more instead of
Mhm.
like him just learning it all as he got older, he'd have been like freaking goated.
He would.
But
Yeah.
then we just have regular Gohan. But
Yeah.
this one is just like so strong, so powerful, and he just never has an happy ending. So like I always wish I could give him the happy ending, not like that, but like wish I could give him a happy ending at the end
Yeah.
of the day, a good life. In my B slot, I got Android 18. I think she's freaking cool. She kicks ass. She still holds her own. She goes hand to hand with the other Saiyans, and isn't afraid of them. It doesn't back down from like the challenges and shit.
Mhm.
And then you got Bardock because like he's a brilliant scientist. How could you not like him? He's not really a scientist, but as the ocean does. But he's a good warrior.
It's so funny.
Just my favorite. I don't know why he's like a favorite. I think it's just his designs. Like it's Goku, but it's not Goku. So
Yeah. That's fair. Yeah.
it's just war torn. It's like what Goku could have been in a way.
Yeah.
Then C, I got Future Trunks because like his design. I've always liked it. He goes hand to hand with the Future Gohan. He doesn't have a happy ending, and so like, but he doesn't make him bitter. And instead, he just makes it like him to make him stronger. And then we got Nappa, my goat, my guy, my favorite. Wish they would have brought him back instead of just letting him get killed off like when he came back with only one word of grunts and growls. I wish they had brought him back. Then there's TN and D. I think he's cool. But if I had to replace him, I'd replace him with Raditz because I really like Raditz. I think I'm like Raditz #1 fan. I just didn't think of Raditz when I made this damn list.
That's fair. Yeah.
And then I made OG Broly because yeah, the storyline sucks, but he's just so fucking cool.
He is cool. I'm not saying he never was cool. He was
He's
definitely
just
cool.
so fucking cool.
His design size.
And plus, like,
He's cool.
I grew up. I still do have the Broly movie on DVD. Got it from Goodwill when I was a kid.
Dang.
And so every camping trip we went on, I took it with me to play on like the portable DVD player. Every place I went, I took it with me to watch it on like any device I had. I just watched that movie constantly as a kid
Wow.
because I thought Broly was just so cool. And when I brought it up to other people, they're like, "Who?" I'm like, dude, he's the legendary Super Saiyan. He's like super powerful and everything like that. Just super cool. And like, of course, nobody else really knew Dragon Ball Z were but some did. And it's just everybody's like, well, Broly sucks. I'm like, well, you suck, you swallow. So I don't want to hear it. So yeah. Oh, and plus his design is just really cool. Like, I get it. It's not like can't really tell he's a Saiyan if with the way what he's wearing, but yeah. But if you think about it, like his father dressed him up like a young prince because he wanted him to become like inheritant of like the Saiyans or some shit like that. You could tell.
Mm-hmm.
Like he trained him to take out Goku and stuff like that, and like just trained him to like fuel his rage and shit. You can tell he's like definitely like it's more for me. I feel like his design definitely speaks more of like godly in ways, like his inhibitors and shit like that. I feel like they're more of like god like esque totems and like the drapes and like the color schemes of it, like the royal red or some shit like that, or the crimson red and the like the really white. That's my tier list basically.
There you go.
So like I said, if I had to switch it around, I think I would Gohan to B and Bardock down to D, and then move Raditz up to A because I really do like Raditz, and I hope they bring him back, but they won't. They just fucking won't.
Yeah.
They just fucking won't. And that's what pisses me off. I feel like Raditz could either have like a good character, or it'd be pretty sick. I could see him coming back as like a good guy. You know, just say. I just think it could. I really could. Mm-hmm. And I'll start a petition. I'll sign papers. I'll fucking start a parade. I don't know. Something to get Raditz back.
That's well, I don't know. Raditz, is an interesting character. There probably is potential there they wanted to, but I don't know. Yeah, they're probably going to be like, we're already dealt with that. We're done. It's like, well, okay.
We're done with Raditz.
We're done with the Raditz.
But I'm not. I want to see a Super Saiyan. I will never sleep until I see a Super Saiyan cannon.
His hair is just like...
Yeah, this
shoots up.
It's just the same. Yes, but yeah.
That's funny.
I want to see a Super Saiyan Raditz.
You think if he turned Super Saiyan 3, his hair would be extra long?
I feel like it would be like Vegeta's and just spike upward.
I don't know. Alright, well, that's our tier lists, so...
That's our tier list?
That's our tier list.
Now we jump into God's forbidden territory.
God forbid. Oh my god. Yeah.
I might need you to help me with this because I'm gonna be probably coughing.
That's fair.
Like I said, I got got something. You got a virus or something.
God, you got a virus.
Got a little bug in me. Got a little virus in me.
Jesus.
I almost. Hey God.
It's a lot. I'm not gonna share it out on the screen. It's just gonna be our characters, but yeah.
I almost want you to put that up, but that's crazy. I didn't make that, but check the Discord. Don't put it up.
It's insane. It's insane. Okay, so before we get into this, I want to make the biggest, fattest warning on the planet because I want you to all to understand what we're about to get into, because we're about to get into territory that is like more like color for warfare area. So I'm gonna say this very clearly as possible. So what we're about to read, it's offensive. I will say that it's totally offensive, but it's not meant for harm. It's something stupid. I think it's definitely written as a joke. If it's not, Christ. But otherwise, we're reading it as something to like not be serious. With I don't want to say what it is yet because like I want the audience to be surprised, but I will say like please please don't be mad. This is me as someone who's half Jewish saying this. That's all I will say. That's the only hint I'll give.
I want to say one thing. If anybody knows me, they know how I love My Immortal. We're not reading My Immortal. Otherwise, that's a whole nother stream, a whole nother video.
That's just yeah. That's that.
Um,
We will do more readings. I promise. That is something in the future.
but I love My Immortal, and this one's up my alley just because it's bad. It's not My Immortal, but I from what I know, of what the research I've done was it's a fan fiction. It was written in the 90s. You can kind of tell. You can kind of tell it was. Do you want to just tell them what it is? I don't know how else I can say it without Band-Aid.
So essentially, it is obviously because it's Dragon Ball because we're here. It's a Dragon Ball X and fan fiction. So buckle up. Yeah, it's gonna get. Hopefully, YouTube don't come after me, bro. I can't even show the image out here because that will take me down. Deeply. Again, this is supposed to be satirical. I 100% know how horrible the Holocaust was and how like horrid and like very like just again just so much genocide and everything. But someone made this, and like I don't know the circumstance of why they made this other than they made this. But yeah, so like please do not be like overly angry. Please do not think that we are being insensitive because we do care. It's just this happened. So this is part of history too, you know? Someone wrote this. So it's interesting. It's bad, but it's interesting. So yeah, anyway, that's my warning. I'll probably put that in the description eventually about my little warning, even though I said this here, but like if anyone doesn't want to watch this afterwards. But yeah, so yeah, you want to?
You don't want to watch? Click off now.
You don't want to like if this
Click
offends
off
you
now.
completely. Just even the thought. Yeah, you gotta go. Sorry. Check back in later. I don't know how long this is gonna take reading this, but like, I don't think it's gonna take the whole stream, but it might.
No,
take,
it's pretty short.
It might take like
it
20,
makes
25
My Immortal look like the Bible.
Yeah. So anyway. Yeah,
6 minutes. 6 minutes is what it says.
Oh, 6 minutes. Okay, then yeah, but like
6 minutes.
I say 10 minutes just in case. Sometimes we read slow, so check back 10-15 minutes. And if we're still reading this, I'm sorry. But like anyway, so yeah, if you don't feel comfortable, click off now. I apologize. If you are interested, then yeah, then I guess a treat for you all, I guess.
Okay. Do you want me to start reading it?
You can start reading it, yeah. That's what you want me to read.
Okay. Anne sighed as she sat down, staring at her work. She just finished writing in her diary and had nothing to do. Life was boring in Secret Annex. But it was better than the alternative. It was alright talking to Peter and Margot, but they were both such quiet people, unlike the always active Anne. All of a sudden, a flash of light appeared. Anne jumped back, stifling a scream. Before she could run out the closed door, she noticed the person who appeared in the flash was not a Nazi officer, someone who she had never seen before. His clothes were very strange. His hair was in a spiky style that was totally new to her. She stood against the wall, weary of the stranger, but he walked towards her and smiled, extending a hand. "My name is Goku," the mysterious stranger said. Anne nervously put her hand in his. He bent down and kissed it softly, then let go. Anne blushed, feeling something she had never felt before go off inside of her. "My name is Anne," she replied quietly. Oh fuck, there's a pube in my mouth.
Ew! No,
Stop. That was my beard. "I'm sorry for what just happened," Goku told her. But I was caught in a time portal and deposited here. My power cells will recharge soon, but until then, I'm stuck here. Anne had no idea what the handsome visitor was talking about, but she played along. "Well, sir," she said. You may sit in my room. You may stay in my room as long as you like. Anne blushed again as she said this and giggled slightly. Goku looked around and then sat on. Thank you for the invitation. I'll be sure to repay you soon. Anne did not understand what he meant by it. However, when he spoke, she felt a deep inside of her. She sat by him on the bed, staring at the man's beautiful eyes. Finally, she could stand it no longer. Anne leaned over and kissed the stranger on the cheek and then pulled back quietly, not sure what she had done. I'm sorry, she said as she stumbled to find the right words. The visitor smirked. No, it's quite all right, he replied with a smile, putting one arm around her. You know, you're a very beautiful girl, but well... Anne looked at him, troubled. What's the matter? She said with a sweet smile. Goku looked nervous. I'm already married, he finally managed to choke out. Anne pulled away from him abruptly. No! She said loudly, almost in tears. I'm sorry, she replied. Anne was furious. Nothing ever goes right! She cries out. I have to go now. Power cells have recharged, said Goku. Anne was in tears by now, staring at the wall so she wouldn't see Goku. He smiled a sad smile and disappeared in an flash out of Anne's life. Anne never forgot him, though not until the end of time. Chapter. That's the title of the story. Right there.
Jesus.
1 month. Well, it didn't feel like a month. To Anne, a Jew in the in the hiding from the Nazis. Fucking Christ. It seemed like a year. 1 month since the fateful encounter with a mysterious man from another world, who she only knew as Goku. The handsome stranger had stepped through time and into her life, then disappeared without a trace. Anne was almost sure that they'd never meet, even though not one day passed without her dreaming of him. Little did she know, however, that their lives were tied by the unbreakable red string of fate. It was another boring day in the secret annex. Anne sat on the bed, writing in her diary. It never occurred to her, however, this entry would be her last. As she wrote in the quiet attic, there was a loud noise from downstairs. Her heart jumped with both fear and excitement. Dying.
You dying?
Dying, Theodore. Dying, Theodore. Was it them? The Nazis? Or could it be him? She had no idea whether to run downstairs or not. That decision, however, was made for her. Her door flew open and the tall soldier was glaring at her. She cries. The cries of her family members and friends were tuned out as Anne only thought of one thing. She stood up and followed the soldier down the stairs and into the back of a truck. So this is it. He said quietly to her, I'm not gonna do the German accent. I can't do it. She said quietly to herself, I'll never see him in my one true love ever again. And all those years of hiding, they were for naught. Then Anne realized that she left her precious diary up in. She broke loose of the officer and made a dash into the shop. When he removed a gun from his holster and fired a shot in her, Anne fell to the floor. Anne lay on the floor feeling searing pain run through her leg where the bullet had met its mark. The Gestapo officer menacingly towards her, grinning. Then, when all of a sudden there was a blinding flash of light causing the officer to shield his, a huge cloud of smoke appeared next to Anne, blocking her from the soldier's vision. When the smoke cleared, he was, and quite for a surprise, there was Goku, holding Anne in his arms, standing next to a huge metal capsule. Goku! Cried Anne. You came! Back for me! Goku smiled. Anything for you, my dear, he said. Our love will never be. Not until the end of time. The Gestapo officer turned tail and ran, but Goku was too quick for him. After laying Anne on the concrete, he dashed towards the Nazi, knocked him to the ground unconscious. Then with only one blow, Nazi. Dumb, uttered Goku. as he spit on his enemy's limp body and returned to Anne. Here, I have something. Goku said as he removed a small bead from his pocket. What on earth is that? Is this? Asked Anne. Goku smiled and remembered how ignorant she was to what was everyday life to him. A sensu bean, said. Just eat it. It will cure your leg. Anne followed his instructions and popped the bean into her mouth, and the wound on her calf magically healed. Now come on, commanded Goku. We got some Nazi ass to kick. Anne jumped on the mysterious Saiyan's back and he launched into the sky. After only a few moments, the two of them arrived in Berlin.
Let me know when you need to tap out.
I got tap out. You go ahead.
Okay. After only a few moments,
I'm in Berlin. Yes.
The two of them arrived in Berlin. Tanks were parading down the street as Adolf Hitler himself stood on a platform overtaking it all. Stay here, Goku said, dropping in a shaded area under a tree. He then flew straight towards a parade of tanks, fists outstretched, screaming as loud as he could. The soldiers below scattered in terror, while the tanks tried to aim their cannons at him. He was too quick and nimble for them. However, and opened the hatch of a nearby pincer, and then headed inside. After dispatching of the soldiers in control of the war machine, he took the wheel. He fired round after round at the crowds of Nazi soldiers, occasionally firing at the other tanks. After only minutes, there was nothing but a cloud of dust and corpses. Goku emerged from the tank hatch, smiling now that he had done his duty. When all the dust cleared, there was only two people remaining on the parade ground. Goku, the Saiyan hero, and Adolf Hitler, the most hateful man ever to walk the earth. Anne watched from nearby fearfully as she saw the two men stare at each other for what seemed like hours. Her one true love and her ultimate oppressor. It had come down to this. So, Hitler said joyfully, you took out all of my men. I'm not doing the German accent, by the way. There's so many problems with that. However, you aren't going to defeat me. Hitler then jumped down from his platform and down onto the street in front of Goku, pulling a chain gun from the ground nearby. Goku quickly jumped behind a ruined tank as Adolf opened fire. The tank made decent cover, but it wasn't long until it would be torn apart by the hail of bullets. Goku had to act. He dashed out from the side of the tank, flew as fast as he could toward Hitler, who had no time to react. He grabbed the chain gun out of his enemy's hands and snapped it over his knee with ease. Hitler stumbled backwards, shocked at the turn of events. Goku smirked and then said, It's come down to this, you and me, fighting like men. If you admit defeat now, I'll kill you rather painlessly. Goku had a definite advantage, or so it seemed. Hitler burst into a laugh, and as Goku looked on quizzically, the mustachioed man slowly rose into the air, as his blown hair and pencil mustache, brown hair and pencil mustache turned blonde color, and his brown eyes turned blue. Goku reeled in horror. Hitler continued laughing, then finally said, Goku, you came here expecting to find a madman, but instead you found a god. Hitler had become Super Saiyan. Anne looked in awe, not sure what was going on. At first, it seemed like her lover would win the battle, but now she was not so sure. Goku now seemed scared of his opponent, and it was for a good reason. Hitler continued to speak. Goku, can't you see? I've reached a power level 10 times anything you've ever achieved. Your fate is sealed, weakling. Even though the battle seemed unwinnable, Goku charged in, screaming at the top of his lungs. Every blow he struck was deflected off of Hitler's rock-hard body. Hitler waited for Goku to tire himself out of his rock-hard body, Jesus. God. Raised his fist and punched Goku. What are we doing here, man?
Rock-hard body.
It's just Christ. What are we ever doing here, Jim? Anyway, one punch was enough. Goku was knocked across the street into a large propaganda poster of Hitler, thudding to the cold, hard ground. Hitler laughed, thinking that the victory was in his hands at last. Goku, however, was not ready to give up. Bruised and battered, he rose from the ground, limping in Hitler's direction. The Nazi leader laughed. You still want to fight? Don't you know when to give up, boy? You can hardly walk, and you expect to beat me, the conqueror of Europe? Goku ignored Adolf's taunts as he continued to stumble his way forward. Finally, the two are. Oh my god. Okay. Oh my god, we're having a Geeko Fest. Good lord. Be broken. Again.
Look.
Finally, the two arch rivals were standing face to face. Goku stared Hitler into the eye, then screamed, "This is for love!" And he flew into the sky, his hair turning blonde, his eyes blue, and an aura of power radiating from him. Hitler looked on in horror at Goku. He had made the ultimate achievement. He become a super ultra power Saiyan. Goku made a cup shape with his hands, aiming at Hitler as he belted out the words Kamehameha as a beam of pure energy shot at his enemy, disintegrating the Nazi leader's body. Goku then collapsed to the ground in a heap, exhausted from the fight. 2 years later, Anne and Goku had finally reached the date of their wedding. After the battle, Anne and Goku destroyed the time machine and took a boat to Australia. Did a lot of... You know what? I'll get to that in a second. They changed their names and lived their lives, ready to start over. The two young people looked into each other's eyes as they kissed. As they Jesus Christ, I'm having a reading all of a sudden. Pronounced the man and wife. Finally, it seemed, Anne was at peace, and they would always be together until the end of time.
This is Anne's son.
Also, did a lot of Germans immigrated to like Australia too? Like Jewish.
I don't
know. It just seemed like very specifically odd that they picked Australia. Unless that was from where the person was from writing this. Which honestly, maybe I don't know. But yeah,
I don't know. It was definitely a 90s.
It was
feel.
definitely 90s. It had so many 90s bit vibes. My
Ultra
god.
Saiyan God.
Ultra Saiyan God. Hey, they predicted, Super Saiyan God.
Predicted
definitely
it,
the 90s.
yeah.
Where's their credit?
Yeah.
This now is like,
I
knew it.
Where's it? Toriyama is rolling in his grave.
Toriyama's definitely rolling in his grave, good lord. I mean, he probably knew of the...
You think Toriyama?
I feel like he had to have.
There's
I
no
don't know.
way.
I feel like he had to
No. There's no way.
I don't know, Toriyama had a weird sense of humor, though.
It's probably where he got Super Saiyan God from.
That would be the funniest turn of events where he's like, he read this, he's like, I got it. I have the new thing. Super Saiyan God. Coming out of retirement after years, he's like, Super Saiyan God. That's it. That's the new series. That's what I'm gonna do now.
Thank you until the end of time.
Oh my god. But yeah, that was that. Good God.
It wasn't I'll say this. It wasn't horrible, and for being a fan fiction, it was not yeah, the topic choice leaves a little bit of a bad taste in your mouth for sure.
Yeah.
And that much I will say it. I don't know, but the day I found out, I came home, I called you, and I read the story to you.
It was so funny because you were like, dude, there's this one fan fiction that is insane. And you made me you were like, okay, you gotta guess what it is. I was like, the Dragon Ball part was easy to guess because it was like, oh, it's like a famous anime from the 90s. I was like, oh yeah, Dragon Ball, sure. And then you said oh yeah, and it has some famous historical figure that is in it that is a ship. And I was like, what? And I couldn't. I was like, I'm dumbfounded. And it's Anne Frank, and I was like, oh no.
I was like, the person was born in this certain time, and you're like, oh my god, the only person I could think of is Anne Frank, and you're like, shit.
It's I go to look at things Anne Frank, and it's no. Oh no. But yeah, we read this before, and it was. I mean, like I said, it could be way more offensive. Like there could be like there could be like stereotyping and stuff like that. But it's pretty much straightforward in a sense. Like it's just straight up storytelling kind of thing. It's like almost
It
like
really
most.
is.
It's
It's
like
just-
most canon like rewrites of like even just like fandom stuff. So it's like I guess you could say it's a fandom rewrite of history. If Dragon Ball was real, who knows?
Jesus.
It's
That is
Insane.
such a fanon rewrite of history.
I mean,
That
that's what it
is-
is. It's what it is, man.
Holy shit.
I hate to say it, but that's what it is. That's yeah.
Holy
no,
shit.
I do agree with that. I can. That's. I broke him.
Holy shit. A fanon rewrite of history. You're telling me that this is technically a historical fiction.
I mean, in the sense that Dragon Ball is related to it, yeah.
Historical fanon fiction.
Yeah.
Jesus. Jesus H. Hoppin' Christ.
Yeah. That is, yeah.
Oh, I just need
Look, it sounds insane, I know.
to get this. I need to get this fucking taste out of my mouth.
Look, well, like I hate to say it, but it's like, how else do you describe what this is that we just read?
Only thing I can really describe it is, yeah. So I said, blushing. Do you like Draco? She asked.
Jesus.
I went into the Slytherin common room. The great. Oh no! I so fucking don't! I shouted. Yeah, right! She exclaimed. Just as Draco walked up to me. Hi, he said. Hi, I replied flirtily.
Excuse me.
Guess what? He
Maybe
said,
burp.
what? I asked. Well, Good Charlotte is having a concert in Hogsmeade, he told me. Oh my fucking god, I screamed. I love GC. They're my favorite band besides MCR. Well, do you want to go with me? He asked. I gasped. That's all I had to put some class in my fucking palate for a minute.
Oh, Christ. Yeah, well. Yeah. That is, yeah.
Jeez, I gotta get this shit off my screen.
Yeah. You're disgusting. I ruined it exactly what I said.
Historical canon fiction. Jesus.
Well. So how did you get into Dragon Ball?
Let's get back into Dragon Ball. Like, what is it that you liked about Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball, just the franchise itself?
So originally, what got me into actually it's funny because I think it was like the abridged back in the day. I originally saw as a kid.
The bridge.
Yeah, I saw the abridged, a bit of the bridge, and it was like fun. And I was like, oh, this is cool. And I'm sure I'm probably sure like I maybe seen like bits of it in like Toonami back in the day. But like it was the abridged. I was like, oh, this is interesting. Like even though it was jokey and stuff like that, I like the animation style and like the concept of the fighting a bit because they did show some of the fighting scenes. And so I was like, oh, I want to like I didn't realize I think my brain that like Dragon Ball was like a series until like after I was like I asked my parents for like video game because I saw there was like Dragon Ball Z Sagas, which not a good game, but it was my first Dragon Ball game and it was good because at least it got me.
Oh yeah, you told me you fucking played Sagas. Holy shit.
Yeah. Which if you don't want me to play that on the
they're
channel
like the only
and
game.
suffer, let me. It's
They're
not
the only
bad.
game
It's not good.
that has like the Yardrat people.
They do. Like it is only like one little level, but it's like yeah, no, so like it was good to play at least in the sense to get a general gist of like all the sagas besides like the Boo saga. But otherwise it got me like a sense of like all the different sagas and things like that. So that was kind of fun. And then I realized it was a show because I saw like clips and it said, it was from the series and I was like, oh, that's cool. And it was around that time Nickelodeon got Kai. Even though it was a censored version of Kai still, which, Jesus, that still kind of annoys me to this day, but I didn't know as a kid.
I wanted to see Vegeta's bare butt cheeks on the Namekian episode.
That was
But no! I had to take it away from me!
But
Took it away from me.
But yeah, that's how I pretty much got into the series, and I started watching like Kai and actually watching it, and it was fun. And then they had the movies on in GT.
What amazes me about Kai is how it's like basically it cuts out the fat, but it does it in a clever way. I didn't like as a kid. I'll say this: as a person, I have not seen all of the entirety of Dragon Ball Z.
Oh no, I haven't
I
either.
want to one day. I want to just sit down and watch it all, but the filler episodes, I don't know if I can get into it. I don't know if I can get into the filler episodes.
I don't think I can do filler. I legitimately cannot. I think it's the reason why when I was trying to watch like the original series of Dragon Ball, because like I watched like a lot of clips of it online back in the day. But like I don't think I can watch it because there's so much filler in that too. Like they gotta make like a Kai version of Dragon Ball. Like the original series. Like there's so much filler. There's so much I couldn't get past like a few episodes. So I was like, alright, I can't. I like the series and it's good and it has like, you know, a lot of good stories in that one, you know, that I really like. But it's just like there's so much like random content. Also, it's like so that's the only one I think I wouldn't mind some some censor type of stuff because like there's some weird
A lot of nudity.
Dragon Ball weird. The worst thing is not just nudity, it's underage nudity, and that's the thing where it's like Master Roshi is
that is the part.
very
He's a pervy man.
Pervy man. I mean, he's always been pervy, but he's extra pervy.
Turtle Island? More like Epstein Island.
Oh my god, whoa. But, yeah.
That's the worst thing that's been said on tonight.
That is
not the worst thing.
No. I just wasn't ready for it mentally. But yeah, so no, but yeah, that's kind of how I got into Dragon Ball, pretty much. And I guess the thing that really got me into Dragon Ball was like the cool animation and like the action of it. It looked cool.
Hell yeah.
What about you?
What got me into it?
Yeah,
As a young Hispanic boy, it was in my blood.
it's in my blood. It's very big in Mexico and like just in South America.
It really is. For me, like my cousin, we had the game. I tried watching like the cartoon and shit. Like they had the VHSs and everything like that. And like I said, I had like some of the tapes for on DVD.
Nice.
I had the very first episode of Dragon Ball Z where Raditz comes to the planet Earth. I still have it. And then I had parts for the ending of Buu Saga.
Oh.
And I think I have only one of those right now. And then I have the OG Broly movie, which is non-canon, sadly. But so as a kid, I had to watch those. I was only able to watch those and then watch a couple of the VHSs my cousin had, and then just play the games, and that's all I had to fill in on like Dragon Ball Z storyline.
Yeah, honestly, the game is that's how pretty much I got like my filler stuff. That's how I got into. That's how because I was playing Dragon Ball Sword Killing Zero as I tried playing on this channel. It didn't work because it's way too much. Just for my internet because it's like it too much bit rate going on with it. But essentially, that's how I got into like the whole details of Super recently because I watched a bit of Super but not like a lot of it, so that really gave me like a lot of the breakdown, a lot of the sagas, and it was nice.
I haven't even touched Super, to be 100% honest with you. The only thing I've touched with Super is the new Broly movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that was years later.
That's, yeah, I mean, I got years later, too. I just recently watched it, so, you know. Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, if you want to get into Dragon Ball, honestly, the best way really is through the games. I'm not gonna lie, because it tells the story, and it's engaging.
It tells you the story. If you want to get into alternate timeline stories, play Xenoverse, especially Xenoverse 2, which is basically just Xenoverse 1, but like add-on.
Yeah.
Xenoverse 2 is a lot more fun. It has a lot more in it, I think, personally. But play Xenoverse 1. You don't have to 100% it, but just, or at least look up a story playthrough. It's really easy. You just build your own. You make your own. Make your own character. Make them fight in the Dragon Ball Z world, and it's pretty nice. But you'll basically understand like extra timelines and shit like that in that one.
Yeah.
Kai time, which is technically canon. Is what I've heard. The Xenoverse is canon.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that. Huh.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. I
And so technically,
say yeah.
every OC character that's been made in it is canon. That's what's been just established once.
That's
Don't
interesting.
don't quote me on facts. I can only just tell you what I heard.
That's all
That's
I
that's
know.
my that's my Gus fact for you.
Ghost fact of the day.
Gus
um,
fact of the day.
if you want something that's more
Okay.
straightforward, that like kind of goes through like all the story arcs. I mean, Sparkling
Hi.
has like old timelines, but it's kind of weird how they do it. But like, I say if you want like a complete like a good one that like even though it's not gonna have super in it, I think the one like I really have like one of my favorites is like Raging Blast because I played that one a lot back in the day. It's a lot like Sparkling Zero, in the sense that like it has like the same literally gameplay style. I know people are probably gonna say play the Tenkaichi games, which you can play the Tenkaichi like 3 game. I just not really grown up with it a lot, but like Raging Blast was the one I really liked a lot. It's on PS3, so that's that's something you can have. That's nothing else. If you don't got that, then emulators exist for PS2, so you can get Tenkaichi 3 that way because it does do it pretty well too. I've heard. So there's a lot of options. It like whatever piques your fancy of fighting style or what you do and don't want to do. Um, so like
You want to
there
know
is a lot.
my first Dragon Ball Z game I ever completed?
What's that?
I still have it. It is the Goku's Legacy. Dragon Ball Z Goku's Legacy on
Oh, what thing?
the Goku's Legacy on Game Boy Advance.
Oh, the advanced. Okay. Huh. Interesting. That's
Yeah.
very
So
specific.
when I first got it, I didn't know how to read. So when I played it, I just played it. Didn't know what the fuck I was doing. It took me like 5 years later to like learn how to read, and that's when I learned how to play it. And that's when, and then
Mm,
I think I was like in middle school after I learned how, because like I didn't, because after that I put my game away and I things,
mm,
and then one day I just found my Game Boy. I was like, fuck yeah, I know what I'm gonna do. Popped it in, and I just played it off and on.
that's cool.
Like took it with me everywhere I was going. Had a smartphone, but I was playing the Game Boy Advance.
That's. I mean, yeah. That's pretty. I mean, that's pretty radical, man. Yeah.
So if you want to play a Game Boy, if you want to play a good Dragon Ball Z, not so good on the graphics, but storytelling and you actually get the characters, Game Boy Advance is like Goku's Legacy. Takes you from Raditz Saga to the Cell games, and then after that you can play the Boo Saga for the Game Boy Advance, which is what I did.
Okay. Yeah. I know there's a couple like for the handheld back in the day too. They had for like Dragon Ball and stuff like that. Um, honestly, like there's a lot of options out there. Actually, what's interesting, one of my favorite actually like Dragon Ball games that like I just enjoy besides Raging Blast is Dragon Ball Budokai 3. It's like a fight. It's like an actual like classic fight. So like imagine Tekken essentially like taking a lot of elements from Tekken and like putting it into like a Dragon Ball game type of like kind of format. It's really fun. I love that game. That is one of those things where like if I'm like bored one day and I want to like just replay something, I will just pop that disc in and just like start playing it again. It's so fun. It's interesting and it's actually it goes through like the all the sagas at least from the time too, and good story. And it got like nice what if modes, kind of little story nugget things you can do too. Like there's like Super Saiyan, like if Vegeta got to Super Saiyan first on Namek and all that, and was able to beat Frieza, kind of thing. It's very interesting and fun.
And if you want to play a Dragon Ball Z game, like with all your heart, I recommend Dragon Ball Evolution is the best game that they made so far to date. It came out in 2009, and it was based off the rate. It was based on the live action film of the same name,
Oh
Dragon Ball Evolution.
no! Oh no! Oh no, Gus.
Can we just talk about that for? Can we talk about that for a minute though? Dragon Ball Evolution. It's not that bad, but it's not the best.
It's I don't know,
I'm not
man.
a I'm not a rooter. I'm not a rooter for it for being good. I'm a rooter for it being like just bad, and I just like it because I think that's just who I am.
That's so
I like Tommy Wiseau shit. I like Neil Breen shit. What's wrong with Dragon Ball Evolution?
It's a lot.
I was so hyped for it as a kid, and then it disappeared. Never found it again. Then one day they played it. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Christ, I remember there was one time they were playing the movie. I don't know god name where on TV, but it was on TV, and I remember watching a bit of it, and I was just like, oh no.
What
I
is
was like,
what?
oh, no.
Hey Geeko! Hey Geeko!
Geeko, what?
God, it's my favorite. It's my favorite.
It's one of those things, dude. Like, it took me like so long when I was like watching it. Like, I didn't know what it was at first because I was like, "What is this?" Like, it's a weird like martial arts type like movie, but it's weird and the designs are odd. And all of a sudden, someone was like,
And it's
"Yeah,
weird that they got-
Geeko," and I was like, "Oh my god, it's Dragon Ball."
It's kind of crazy how like it's just I don't know. It's just kind of crazy how it kind of works, but it doesn't. Like if like okay, so let's say that this became canon somehow. The
That
only way they could let it be canon if they said it was like an Elseworld universe, like how they like they had the Universal Martial Arts tournament
yeah.
where like they get the other Earths and like they have like the other Gokus. I would love if they appeared in one of them. They're like, who the hell are they? I don't know. They're from the Evolution Earth.
That's
It'd be cool.
Just
I
the
think
first
it'd be cool.
evolution.
The Ozaru thing, the Ozaru like form sucked, but it was okay. Like to me at least, it was okay.
I mean,
Like I don't know. I'm a rooter for it. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's not horrible. I think it was okay. And if you like Dragon Ball Z Shin Budokai and Dragon Ball Z yeah, just Dragon Ball Z Shin Budokai. It was made by the same developer, so it plays the same way. Same rush attacks, same commands, and same gameplay engine. So if you like that game, give it a try.
wait, you're
I
telling
laughed
me
my ass off.
that the fighting game version of the Dragon Ball Evolution was by the same people that like made again the Shin Budokai games, the game that I was talking about, Budokai 3, which is the same. Yeah.
Yeah, it was developed by Dimps, the same creators of Dragon Ball Z Shin.
Wow. Okay.
So yeah,
That's
Dragon Ball Z Shin Budokai another.
that's insane. That is okay. Unhinged, but like
Yeah.
honestly, they made a good fighting game. So
Yeah,
one of the best fighting games, I will
and
say.
so like it's pretty fun. You got your characters in it are Goku, Bulma, Roshi, Yamcha, Chi-Chi, Grandpa Gohan, Piccolo, Mai, Neo Piccolo, Fu Loom, and Great Ape Goku Ozaru.
Wow. I mean,
It's rated T for teens.
if y'all are interested, then
You get beautiful. You get some beautiful pictures in it, like that are painted for sure. They're like drawn over.
that's
And then you get like fun things like Piccolo's dirigible.
mm,
That's my favorite one. Piccolo's dirigible is where it's like his giant blimp that he flies around with in the movie.
interesting. Very interesting. Actually, you want to know one of the worst Dragon Ball games I've heard that's out there? It's this PS1 game that's like based off. I think it's just called Dragon Ball GT or like Dragon Ball Grand Tour or something like that. Essentially, it's like it's supposed to be a fighting game, but it's like god awful. I think Game Grumps like played it like way back in the day. I don't remember if John was still around or if it was right when like Dan joined. I don't remember, but like it's pretty bad. It is a sluggish mechanics.
Dragon Ball Z Battle of Z.
Maybe.
Oh, you're talking about? Which one are you talking about?
Hold on, I better look it up. PS1
Dragon Ball Z Sagas.
That's not great either. Final Bout, that's what it's called. Dragon Ball GT Final Bout. It is. I've not played it myself personally, but I've heard it is god awful. One of the worst, like not even just like worst Dragon Ball games, one of the worst like fighting games. Period. So
Final Bout. That's what you said.
Bout.
Okay, I just looked at it. Holy.
It's
killing me.
Fascinating. So I yeah, that's just one of them. Another game that I'm not a super fan of that I played personally, I think it was a Dragon Ball game for like you can tell it was on the PS3, but you can tell it was one of those Wii games because of how it functioned. What's it called? I think it was like Dragon Ball like Ultimate Tenkaichi or something. It was like just god awful. Like there wasn't really much fighting in the game. No, that's not it. Ultimate Tenkaichi is a different game. PS3. Let me look something up. I'm trying to figure it out. Hold on. Oh. Oh no, this is the game. No, I was right. Dragon Ball Ultimate Tenkaichi. It's for the PS3. Most majority of the game is not even fighting. It's just like putting in like input commands. Again, I am almost 100% that this was originally like a Wii game, but they decided to port it on like other consoles. Cause it's like it's one of the it has that vibe where like you're having to like move the Wii remote around kind of feeling, but they implement it as like button combinations, and it's just like it's god awful. It's not a good game. It's not a good game. Of course, there's a Wii version of it out there, and it is good.
The only one I can really say I'm grateful that I never was Dragon Ball Z for my cousin had it.
Which one?
For the Dragon Ball Z for the Kinect.
Oh, Kinect. Oh,
I heard it's bad.
Dragon Ball Z Kinect. Hold on, I want to say something.
It has beautiful graphics from what I remember. Like they're like for like the time, it was pretty good looking graphics. Like, holy shit, it was bad.
Oh, it's the same people who made that one game I was talking about, the Ultimate Tenkaichi game. Okay, well that makes sense. Okay, so whoever developed these games were just bad. Okay, so I'm not wrong about my mindset, clearly, about what I was saying about the whole Wii type of thing. So okay, that just proved my point. Because it's the exact same people, because I can tell because of the graphics. The graphics design is not bad. I don't mind it. The shading, look, and style like is pretty cool. But it's just the gameplay. Oof, yeah. I not played the Kinect one, but I can see how like the Kinect barely worked as it is, so I can't see it working well just in general with the Dragon Ball game. With so much going on.
Like for a Dragon Ball Z game that if you already played all of them basically, just play Xenoverse. Xenoverse 2. Don't play Xenoverse 1, just play Xenoverse 2.
Xenoverse 2 is pretty good.
Because Xenoverse 1 is just it's has more, and the DLC, all the DLC on it, fucking scratched most of that because I don't know, it takes a minute for me to want to play the game, honestly. But like I love it. Don't get me wrong, but I played so much of it that like I'm almost just like kind of like burnt out.
Yeah. I think Xenoverse 2 got like recent like DLC updates for Dragon Ball Daima.
Oh yeah,
recently. So it's getting updated constantly. 2, I should say, 2 is getting updated constantly. So like,
and their community is still very active. Like they have a lot of polls. Like, who do you want to be in the next release? And like I think like the latest one they released from what last one I remember was they voted Vegeta Dragon Ball GT Super Saiyan 4.
He's not in that game already? Dang. I guess
he wasn't until now.
Jesus Christ. See, that's the only thing I will say is that like this is an issue I have with a lot of like fighting games as of late. Is now I get it for Dragon Ball because oh my god, the roster you can have for like just a generic Dragon Ball game would be insane. Because like there's so many different like versions of Goku and Vegeta and things like that. There's so many different versions, let alone again like GT versus Super versus like you know, kind of thing. So like I get that part where it's like sometimes it's like, look, we're not gonna be able to put everybody in, Chief, but we'll do our best, you know, kind of moment. But I will say it's like something like GT like Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta just seems so weird that they did, but considering they have Goku Super Saiyan 4 GT. I'm saying GT specifically because I know they just recently added in Daima, and I guess spoilers if you've not seen the series. I've not seen it, but I've seen clips of it and stuff like that. They
Yeah, Goku does become Super Saiyan. They canon it now.
they made a canon. Yeah, he becomes Super Saiyan 4. I'm okay with the
So there's two
design.
different
I
versions of Super
just
Saiyan
wish
4.
they didn't change the hair to make it all red. They could have kept the dark black hair. That's the only thing I'm a little bit slightly irked about, but otherwise I'm not going to complain. Otherwise, I am happy that it's canon, but I also am confused too.
What I liked was I seen a video. Mikey and I, when we get into our deep dives on Dragon Ball Z and shit, he showed me a video where like, it was Super Saiyan God Goku, GT Super Saiyan 4 Goku, and like Super Saiyan 4 Goku was holding his fighting good, but he had to give up in the end because like he's an older man. So like in that one, you know he's an older man, and that he's had so much experience in fighting versus the Super Saiyan Super Goku, who's still like youngish man. You know, his youngest son is still like in his teens, so, and like all that good shit. And like I don't know, just you could tell like Super Saiyan 4 was meant to be, and they didn't let it be.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of weird. The thing is, what I've heard about Daima and what's really strange about it is that like it's super confusing in the timeline because it's like it's supposed to take place before Super, but like it retcons a lot of things from like Super, so it's really weird its placement. Um, that way, like the Super Saiyan 4 thing, it's like kind of weird because of the placement and everything, because it's like even like the show kind of acknowledges, because it's like at the end when like Vegeta like kind of asks the point, it's like, oh, you were able to turn Super Saiyan 4 this whole time, why have you never mentioned anything? And he essentially, Goku's explanation is super weak in the sense that like, oh, well, I could have went Super Saiyan 4 when I was fighting Boo, and we're talking about like base Boo, not like Super Boo or Kid Boo, but like normal Boo. But he said that he wanted to give Boo a chance, essentially, to be a good guy, which is like kind of Goku coded a bit.
Shut the fuck up.
But like that's literally
no
his explanation, way. And it's so stupid because then it makes you wonder, why didn't you change when like Super Boo is a thing, or even Kid Boo?
Like when legit Kid Boo, like legit, he was fucking Vegeta was getting his ass kicked. like what the fuck?
Like it's such a weak explanation, and it's so hard because it's like one of those things too, where Goku admit like that he said, "Oh yeah, I let Boo go because I wanted him to change." And like again, I don't mind that concept, but again, once he turns Super Boo, that should have been the moment of like, okay, I gotta bust out 4 because this is getting serious.
Yeah, legit. Holy fuck!
So bad.
I'm pissed.
The way they
I'm
inserted
pissed that
that
you
in.
just told me this.
Like it's such a bad way they
Holy
inserted
fuck.
it in. It's such a ridiculous thing. It's like you could have just like stated that he learned it after.
No, you. Holy fuck! They like legit. They should have said like, "Oh, He's like, well, Kakarot, if you're gonna turn this style, why didn't you?" He's like, "Oh, well, Vegeta, you see, I only learned this after I beat Boo, and I went back to training with King Kai."
Yeah, like they could have just done that. They could have like there could have been enough time between like
Boo and
Super. It's
could have said like, I don't fucking know. I learned from
anything.
Bubbles how to unlock my inner 8.
Bubbles.
I flung my shit for once. Fucking something.
That's so funny. I love that.
Pissed.
It's so weird because it's like I hate that they tried inserting it into the canon, and I'm like, okay, you could have done that way better to insert it, like so much better. It's so frustrating because it's like that. Like after watching that clip, because I think it was like by the end of the series anyway, and I'm like, look, I'm watching this and I'm like, are you serious? That is their explanation. That's what they stated. This is reasoning why he never went Super Saiyan 4. They could like you realize how like awful that makes Goku sound like the most selfish person on the planet, essentially, because it's like
That's literally
could
what they make him now.
Like they could have like you're telling me he could have stopped Boo sooner before everyone died? Come on.
Yeah,
His
Boo destroyed the planet.
Son got like absorbed in everything. It's like, bro, come on. That's weak. And I think that's why people were like so like uncertain about Daima now because it's stuff like it's pretty much like something like that exactly where it's like, okay, that's not really good writing. The problem is, and like you know, rest in peace, Toriyama. You know, you created like one of like my childhood favorite like series all time, but my god, his writing was like all over the place. This is like his last like project before he passed, type of thing. And it's like with his writing style, he is literally the definition of I'm making it up as I go, kind of thing. And it's one of those moments where you see that in this like new series where it's like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, you definitely just made that up on the spot. Like it's a yike moment. Like I don't know, man. It's
No, I
frustrating.
totally get it.
It's frustrating. It's stuff like that where it's like
I
you try
want
following canon and it's like okay.
I want you to put this on the stream
What
because
is
this gives me such like fucking nostalgia looking at this.
Okay. Oh yeah, I can actually explain. Oh yeah, there you go. That Broly. I have that Broly technically.
You have that Broly and that
And that Vegeta. Yeah. It's silly. I'll get it up on the stream in a hot sec. Hold on.
Yeah, no, you're good. You're good. Take your time.
It's
We're talking our heart out about what our gripes are.
what gripes about Dragon Ball. I love Dragon Ball, but like, what? Yeah, there are some moments where it's like things like that that makes it kind of hard to stick to like really get through the whole series.
Jeez. What? So as a kid, did you ever look up like images of like Super Saiyan 5?
They came up in my like feed and stuff like that. Like whenever I would be like watching like Dragon Ball, I'm gonna keep it in the corner. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's like a broadcast.
Me too. I in the image that Carolyn's popping up, I don't know, dude. It was just notorious for when we were kids. Like the only thing we had was like 1, 2, 3, and then maybe 4, and then the Ozaru form, which nobody ever turned into.
Yeah.
And so we were like, man, Goku's gonna turn into a Super Saiyan 5 one day. I don't know why we're Southern children.
We're something to now.
It is basically just Saiyan 4 Super Saiyan.
Yeah. But it's
you know, if that kind of made me think, like if you that made me just think, like I'm glad they came out with Super Saiyan,
yeah,
because that helped me just fucking describe this.
Yeah. Okay. Also, fun factoid. As I kind of briefly mentioned a hot second ago. So, I was a kid that wasn't able to afford Dragon Ball figures. They're expensive. They just, my family wasn't really like able to afford a lot of them. I got like a couple different figures though, and mostly they're like little statuette guys. And so, I went to this one store that sold like bootleg Dragon Ball little figurines. And they had this Vegeta and the Broly one, and I have the figures of that. So yeah, I knew exactly like these things existing because of being able to get this.
Please, Mom. Please, Dad. Please. Please just give me the figures. Your dad's like, I don't know. He's like, I don't know. These ones feel like they're made very cheaply. But Dad, I want them. I don't know why I was as a kid. He's like, I'll buy you the very tan Nappa. I guess as well.
I should probably show this pictures in a minute, like my little figure collection. But like, yeah, no, like I don't know. I got whatever I was able to get, kind of thing. So that was yeah, kind of most of my thing. Speaking of, I was trying to find like Broly. I know I had like a normal, just like Super Saiyan Broly. Could not tell you where it is. I've looked around this house. I do not know where it is. It is in like an abyss somewhere. But I do not know.
My Dragon Ball Z character figures. I would Goku and the Krillin. Burger King Dragon Ball Z figures.
There we go. I need to be on screen all the time. Yeah. Yeah. Those are cool. Because I never really able to get the official ones. So, but to be fair, honestly, I'm gonna say at least with the figures that I have, they're a little janky. But at least some of them, the statuette ones, they're a little janky. But I think they're 10 times better than like even the official ones that came out back in the day. Cause yike, just yike.
I think so. Like the year they came out. And I think that was when like Cooler made a scene like in the movie, new movie.
Yeah.
And so I'll show you. I had the.
That's how I got into drowning pool back in the day.
I do.
Down noodle.
That's not Frieza. I don't care what anybody. It's not.
No, that's Cooler. 100%. That's Cooler.
That's Cooler.
Hold on, let me get on screen. I realize. Yeah. No, that's 100% Cooler. You cannot tell me otherwise.
And that Goku and the Krillin were my very first Dragon.
Okay.
And I loved that Goku with all my mind. I'd always carry him. I'd be like, "Oh my God, he's the strongest in the universe." And then like I would get like I don't know, I was lucky in my they some of the yard sales they would sell Dragon Ball Z toys. Like they would have some of them. And I'd be like, "Mom, can I get these?" And she's like, "Yeah, okay." Coolest shit ever, man.
Yeah, I wasn't even able to get the little Burger King toys because I thought those were like, I don't know. We never went to Burger King a lot. I don't know why. This just wasn't the vibe. I don't know.
I didn't get them from Burger King.
Oh, you found them. Okay. Yeah, even so.
I just somehow acquired them as
wild. Yeah, no, that's definitely 100% cool. Cooler. You can't tell me otherwise. Though I keep looking at that. Did really mark that as Frieza? Back in the day?
I don't think they do.
Okay, good. I was gonna say they did. That's like
I don't think they did.
Insane. Like wow. I'm like wow.
And then they had like the metal looking. Collect all 7. One in every kid's meal. I think it's McDonald's or Arby's. Which one?
Mickey D's. Probably more likely like McDonald's just because they had a lot of.
No, it's Burger King.
Was Burger King? Yeah, okay.
It's Burger King that had like.
Hold on. Had the what?
So cool.
Sorry.
It was Burger King.
Oh.
That had the metal looking figures. Or the metal looking.
Gotcha. Okay.
Bully guys.
Yeah.
Cooler. It was a cooler. Yep, it was.
Cool. Yeah.
And you had collect all 5. Super Saiyan Goku, Piccolo through a disc with his big ass arms. Also, with Piccolo, how come they never?
Wait. Oh, sorry. You cut out for a second, Wolf.
With Piccolo, how come they never utilize like extending arms?
I don't know. I almost feel like this is, even the people themselves, like of the series, forgot that he can do that.
It's just so like people always wonder, it's like, why didn't Toriyama do this for that for his show? It's like, well, first off, Toriyama just doesn't remember.
He really doesn't. It's funny.
He just doesn't.
It's kind of funny at times.
Or he didn't. He didn't remember that his character could do that because if you think about it, he'd written Goku, like he'd written Dragon Ball, just as Dragon Ball for that, and then they're like, "We need you, Toriyama, your shit's selling like hotcakes. We need you to fucking make another one." He's like, "Okay, then I do it," and he fucking makes another one, and it's Dragon Ball Z, and it fucking rocks. It's Rock the Dragon, literally. Dragon Ball, just it's fucking good. So like, and then after that, he made Boost the Android Saga and the Cell Saga, and then the fucking which one? The Boo Saga. The Boo Saga, which where it was supposed to end, and then GT, where it was really supposed to end, because at the end of that, Goku went away. He grew up. He fucking there was no more danger in the world. Just everything was at peace. He was no longer fighting. Him and Shenron, they flew off.
They did. Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean that's still technically the ending of the series in general. It's just it's kind of weird because then, he took like a hiatus. I mean he kind of did GT. The word is kind of. He kind of gave like his
Mhm.
a little bit of input, but like it was mostly like I forgot who, but like these other people who did it. So like he went into retirement for like a solid like decade, like maybe a decade and a half, and then all of a sudden like he again people were getting into like, I think anime was getting like really big, like superbly big in the US. Probably because of like internet
Yes.
becoming like accessible and people were like able to see it, and so like people were like, oh, I wish there was more Dragon Ball and stuff like that. And he pretty much like came out of retirement and did like the Battle of the Gods and Resurrection F, and then he decided to like just do Super, and then he continued until sadly his passing.
Mhm.
So
And so like reason why like GT's not canon is because it was an adaptation. Like it was like an anime original. It was not like an adaptation of the manga.
yeah, it was just like it was essentially kind of like the movies. A lot of the movies were like, and they weren't in the manga. It was like just made kind of thing.
Yeah, just made to make some money, so Toriyama could keep doing his book.
Yeah, keep writing his book.
But Dragon Ball GT had some of like the coolest design looks. I'm not gonna lie.
No, absolutely, yeah. I mean, that's why I love Super Saiyan 4 so much. It's such a cool looking and like such a good
It
design.
is. It really is.
Like one of my favorite forms. So again, I'm glad they made a comeback, but I wish they didn't make his hair red fully. I just wish they kept the dark hair. Like that would have been cool. But either way, I'm glad at least it's somewhere in the canon, I suppose. Even if it's really forced into the canon, it's in the canon, I guess. So
It's Dragon Ball 4 or Super Saiyan 4 is now like how we want it. Just like how everybody wanted Broly to be canon. Like Broly's canon. They're like, no canon. Plus his fucking stories suck because he's a whiny bitch. It's like, go fuck yourself. I'd cry too if fucking Goku was crying next to me for fucking 17 hours straight after I was just ripped out of my mother's monkey womb.
I mean, I would be traumatized.
And then I had a fucking power level of 10,000. And then the fucking king was so threatened that he just stabs you.
He's like, Jesus Christ.
I'd be pissed too.
Yeah. But I do like this Broly, though.
Giru.
They did in Super. I do like his.
The new Broly is very good. They made him because like what I liked about the OG kind of had like a Frankenstein's monster-esque feel.
Yeah.
Where like he was just a mindless monster. And then now in Super, they like gave him feelings and like they made him like understand like, oh, you don't gotta be living like that.
Yeah.
Sadly, you had to live better.
Have a better and good life.
Yeah.
It's nice.
And then he finally got the family. Because it's not like so like Paragus, I think it's his dad's name if I remember.
I think yeah.
Paragus wasn't like the best father, but he was like the father that Broly had and only had. And it's not like he treated him horribly. He just trained him to be a soldier, just like how Paragus was probably raised.
Yeah, and it didn't help that like Broly couldn't control his powers. So I mean, like it's horrible, but he did what he had to do to like be able to like not make him a danger to himself and others, kind of thing. because obviously
Exactly.
you see what happens when he's not able to be controlled, kind of thing. So like, it wasn't like in the sense that like you would be like, oh yeah, like he was horrible, you abused him and things like that. He did, but it's like also you could see like why he was doing it because it's like him like losing complete control. It's like, oh, okay,
Because like then Paragus wouldn't have been able to stop him. Nobody would have.
yeah, it's kind of cool and it's interesting because in like the manga because like that's continuing on still. Uh, Broly is actually like is being trained, you know, by like Goku and stuff like that. And he's able to
By
like
Goku, yeah.
yeah, being able to control his like you know his powers and things like that, and it's like really cool. So I is happy.
I really like Goku though. I like the color. It's like because like yeah, you know, we got like the blue or the orange and blue, and he's
Mm-hmm.
worn that for a while. And then in Super, they have it like basically just the same thing,
Yeah,
but like tied a little differently. Um, but I like the GT one because like the yellow pants are just very nice, and
yeah.
then the white sash belt, and then the blue shirt.
I
I
always
like
like.
the white belt because it kind of represents the fact because back in he gets turned back into a kid
Mm-hmm.
and like he tries to like power up to Super Saiyan 3 and then like he reverts back to like normal form. He's like my body can't handle it. My older younger body can't. And so you to think about it like in it's like this way of like he's wearing the white belt cuz he's a student now. He has to learn how to with his limitations of his body.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just like the GT outfit because it just looks cool too. I've always just I don't know. It's such a like nice design and it's mad. It's maddening because it's like in Sparkling Zero they don't have that as like a costume for like just any normal version of Goku. I mean, they have like Kid Goku and GT and like that kind of thing, but they don't have it like as a costume choice, and it makes me mad because like I always love that costume. Such a cool design.
And it's kind of reminiscent back to like his beginning costume, like his beginning outfit in Dragon Ball, like where he had like the red wristbands and the blue shirt and then like the white belt.
Mm-hmm. I think it is supposed to be based off that sort of.
Probably.
So, my God, we're almost an hour and a half in the stream. My God, we could be talking about Dragon Ball
Dragon Ball.
forever.
I could honestly, I could bring up thing and tell you what I like. Like Dragon Ball Z, just Dragon Ball, the whole series is just so good for me because it was just like something that I met when I met Mikey and like and shit like that. Like we bonded over it and we talk about it for hours. My
Mm-hmm.
brother, you know, we used to he used to play the game and I'd watch him play it for hours. It was super hard. You had to fucking like spin the Joy-Con, like the joystick in a fucking circle while you're trying to circle while you're like, whole Nelson.
Mm-hmm.
Can't remember what game that is, but it was always that one. And it's just my cousins and I. We always for me Dragon Ball, like the entire whole thing is just it's like family,
Oh.
and I don't want it to go away, and I hope it stays good. I hope it continues to be good.
Yeah. I think it'll. I think we'll continue on. I think at least you know for at least a couple more years probably. It seems like at least it seems like that's what they want to do or at least try to do. Nothing else. At least with the manga still kind of continuing, there at least will always be something to adapt. So that's always cool. I don't know. I've always yeah. I don't know. Dragon Ball is like a very specific spot in my heart. I don't know. It's definitely one of like you know the things like I really liked you know as a kid and I do now kind of thing. And I'm kind of finding like I'm not refinding my love for it again. So it's just it's really nice to get back into like Dragon Ball. But yeah, I don't know. I think I'm gonna put no at least a pin in it here. I don't know. Could be we could go back to this topic again someday. I don't know what specifically would you know we go about with it, but I don't know. But yeah. Any final little thoughts, comments, questions, concerns?
I think it's all good. I said my little piece with it. That's all my piece with it.
Okay. Then yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up here. I hope you all enjoyed the stream. If you like it, like it. If you dislike it, comment with your thoughts, subscribe to Gus, aka Colorful Warfare. I forgot to put that in the description. I will probably do that after the stream's done. So,
It's
um,
okay. The channel's dead. It's been dead.
if I'm in still, I'll still cred. I'll still give cred.
Been dead.
Anyway, and I'll see you guys next time. So, bye guys.
Boy.